Remarkable Wrestling Podcast. What the world is watching. And hello, everybody. It's time for another edition of the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast. And if you're watching, say hello. Eventually, I do want to film a really cool intro for the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast on 1980 style, where it's like, hey, we're going to be talking about all the collectibles and all the memories and all the stuff that makes us professional wrestling fans. This is such good Look at that little pipsqueak. Look at that from the WWE fan club. Ultimate Warrior wristbands. He was like, you like wrestling? I was like, hell yeah, I do. It was Lumberjack Jimmy, my made-up wrestler. Think Hacksaw Jim Duggan, just Lumberjack.
Did you use a backbreaker in a fight at Grand Oaks?
He runs a promotion during his lunch break. Dude, that what cracks me up. All right, hello everybody, and thank you for joining another edition of the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast. I am Boom Boom Brandon Oliver, and it's another nice Sunday here in San Antonio, Texas, and we are going to have a really good episode. I got my Texas sweet tea and my Remarkable Wrestling Podcast cup, and as you know, this podcast is a little bit different. It's not a linear interview where we go from beginning to end. We just talk about all the things that combine us together as wrestling fans. And here you can see my wall of markdom behind me, and I'm ready to go for another episode. And today I have a very special guest. She has been in RCW a few times, and she's been on our TV screen a lot. And so I want to introduce Shelly Martinez. Shelly Martinez, fun time, Shelly.
That's right, bitches. Oops, can I say that? Am I allowed to say
you
that?
could say that, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But Shelly Martinez, thank you so much for being here on the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast.
Totally. When you told me what you do, I was like, oh my goodness, that is so much fun. I can't wait to see what happens.
and you see like my wall of markdom. That's what I call it. And, because I think, I always, this, we work with people that are like, oh man, I was never a mark, that basically just fell into wrestling, I guess, like out of the skies. and so I'm like, well, what's wrong with saying you were a fan, that you were inspired by, people? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's like the only pro sport that I think does that. Cause I see other pro sports where they're like, yeah, Michael Jordan was my hero. Magic Johnson was my hero, whatever. But you don't really hear that much in wrestling. They kind of like shy, to be tough guy. Don't you find that to be kind of the case sometimes?
Oh my gosh, yes. And the thing is, as a wrestler, I don't know if things are different now, but from my era, things like that were definitely looked down upon. Like, don't be a mark. Hey, don't be a mark for yourself. Yeah. And don't be a mark for whoever. Or why are you marking out for so-and-so? But it's so crazy because the same people who say don't mark out, and they're like usually people who have been around for a while. So like you're going to respect them, even though you think maybe it's a little like, why not? But but you have to like respect it. But it's like those same people who say don't do it, I've seen do it to other people. So what is it? Are you not supposed to mark out? Are you supposed to mark out? And make up your mind. So that's the other thing too.
Yeah, I embrace it. Like, here's the guitar that Jeff Jarrett smacked me over the head with, after it was over. I'm the promoter. I paid him. It was my idea. And then, I went to Jeff afterward. I was like, here's the broken guitar. Could you sign it for me? Because I'm hanging on my wall. And I still talk to Jeff to this day. He's a good guy. But again, why not embrace that aspect,
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And, I don't know. I don't know why or where this whole thing started from, that you're not supposed to mark out. But like I said, it's like everyone does at a point. Now, there's one thing if you maybe are bothering somebody, let's say you're bothering somebody who really has inspired you and whatever, then yeah, you're being a mark, quit it. But what's wrong with like giving people props? I think I'm a huge believer in give props where props are due. And just because maybe you enter the other side and now you are inspiring other people doesn't mean that you have to stop. Like, that's the thing too that always bothered me about wrestling is it's like once you start having matches and you're out there, all of a sudden it's like all these other things that kind of led you to getting there, and that passion, inspiration is thrown out the door because you don't want to be a mark. Barf. Barf, have fun. By the way, isn't wrestling supposed to be fun? Like, keep it fun.
We forget that. We forget that sometimes.
Take it all serious, man. Okay, what should be taken serious is training. What should be taken serious is that you want to do a good job. Those are the things you should take serious. But like these other little petty things, it's like, dude, you're really taking the fun out of it. And then sometimes the fans, like let's say there's fans, that they go to the same promotion all the time. That's their favorite. Everyone there knows them. So eventually they're going to maybe hear stuff like that being said just by being in an ear's distance. And it's like, so now maybe fans are kind of like, oh man, I feel like I can't really like be all whatever because I don't want this guy to think I'm some mark. And so everyone loses on the fun. It's a shame.
It is. It really is. So we do have fans already tuning in. Peter Salinas, he said, "Oh, OMG, Shelly Martinez, beauty and talent, and beauty and talent."
Ooh. So, I'll take that on this Sunday fun day.
And then Samantha Garcia, is she in Cali? Yes, she's. Shelly's always in Cali.
That's right.
Anywhere near the fires? That is true. Are you okay with? We see the rest of the news here, of course, in Texas and things like that. But are you okay in California? Because we see all these images of the wildfires and things like that.
Yeah, it's one of the things that comes, I've grown up in California, born and raised. And so it's not something that this happens. It happens. There's fire season. It's so dry out here, especially in certain parts. So it happens. It sucks. And where I'm located, I was affected as far as the air quality was going, but fortunately I wasn't like in any kind of danger or anything like that other than that. And it sucked because last year when there were some gnarly fires, I was closer to it, but both last year and this year, it's like not being in a total danger zone with it and being so affected by that air quality. My heart goes out to these people who have to evacuate their homes, the wildlife out there that they don't know. They don't know anything. They just know that they need to run for their lives. So it's not just about like, it's just like a lot, and you feel it in the vibes, it's like kind of like a chaotic feeling, and then there was like, I'm sure people saw like the images of how the sky looked. It was orange for days and days and days and days. And it was really creepy. Like I thought like Judgment Day was coming, I swear. But thank goodness we're fine. But oh my gosh, I can't. Everyone who's been affected by the fires, like my heart really goes out to them. Yeah,
definitely. And, we're glad that you're safe, Shelly, and that, that you're okay. But, this is the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast. So we talk about things that inspire us. And so, one of the things I always ask of my guests is, do you have a few things that you collected from your career or before it? Could be before it. And then what are some of the stories behind them? So Shelly Martinez, what are some of the things that you kept from your wrestling career or even maybe before it?
Well, now that you said before it, I wish I included other things, but maybe I'm just going to have to come back. I don't know. Here I am inviting myself back already.
Hey, I got that on video.
Dude, I got a lot of stuff because before I get into my items here, I'm one of those people that I really hold on to things, not like hoarding wise, but like when something really means something, like I'll keep it, and I'll keep it for like a long ass time, unless it somehow gets ruined or if it gets lost in a move, which that's the worst when you move and like things get lost. But there's definitely some staple points from earlier in my career when I was Desire, but maybe next time we'll do an old school like throwback one for that. Okay, so what order shall I go in here?
You pick.
Got it. Okay, I got it. Okay, So I've told this story on my podcast, Shelly Live, Tuesdays on vocnation.com. And I've talked about it on my Wake and Bake morning show that I have, another podcast with my sister. And now I'm going to share it with you guys. So long story short, as I can make it, I was going through a really, really, really rough time. Really rough. And I hate that this is the story I'm going to tell you because it still embarrasses me to this day, but here it goes. So I was having such a bad time in my personal life and professional life. Not that like things weren't working out. It was more like I just had to accept some things that were a hard pill to swallow. So that sucked. And when I had this match, and at the time I had this really close friend and I was going to be wrestling his then girlfriend. So he had called me prior and he was like, hey, you know, she's really nervous. You know, she knows you're my friend. Like, make sure you take care of her. And my whole thing in wrestling is like, I really get my jollies off of wrestling with somebody and just making it just like if they're nervous or like, not in this case, but in other cases, like say they have no wrestling background, it's like a custom wrestling. I love and I get a natural high off of making them look like they know what they're doing. So I was like, yes, no problem. She has no reason to be nervous. So before the show, I ended up having some lunch and I got in a conversation and people always ask me what it was, but I will never tell because it's not for people to know. Some things you got to keep kayfabe, brother. But I got into a conversation with the honky tonk man. And it was one of those things where I needed that conversation to confirm how I was feeling. So unfortunately, I drank way more wine than I should have. I ended up wrestling my friend's girlfriend, then girlfriend, and I was drunk. And somewhere in the match, like my rib got injured. So I totally deserved having that rib injury. And I felt really bad because I was just so broken spirited at that time that I couldn't believe I did that, you know? So I had to apologize. Like I didn't have to, but I wanted to apologize to, you know, my opponent. She was very nice about it. Very, very nice. And then the guys who brought me in, I felt so guilty because I knew that just wasn't cool. Like I can't believe I, to this day, did that. So the next day I had a match with Lufisto and I had been wanting to wrestle Lufisto for so many years. And so now I'm like, I'm such an asshole because here I finally get my match with Lufisto and I effed up the night before because I couldn't control my emotions. And now like this. So we ended up having this match. And to be honest with you, it was a really awesome match. I had so much fun. And my only regret is that I wasn't 100% because had I been, it would have been even more amazing, you know, but whatever. So then after that, I heard from people, more than one, that, and I don't know if this is true, that Lufisto was supposed to punish me by getting rough with me in the ring because of what I did. And they thought that she did. And I thought, dude, she totally took care of me. She didn't do any of that. Like, yeah, marks. There's a mark. Yeah, marks. So, you know, when I was in Germany and I did my last match there, I told this story because I did a dinner thing the night before. And my whole thing is like, you got to be safe. Like, thank God, like I didn't hurt that other girl or I didn't hurt myself even worse. And it went into this really cool conversation that like, it was just awesome. So when I left Germany, I was at the show, but everything was done. One of the guys I believe he was a referee there. He was like, here, I want you to have this. So you always remember us here in Germany. And he gave me this honky tonk man.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yep. He moves and everything. And so he has gone on, 3 moves now. So he's made it through 3 moves.
Okay.
He usually looks over where I put my dogs. Like they had like this little patio we used to call, because my Ethel, she passed away, but they were Fred and Ethel Mertz, and that they would be in their little Parkland Mertz, and Honky Tonk Man would always watch over them. So now this isn't another item. This is just a bonus. So
Okay.
I got this when I did my face painting. Shelly de la Muerte, a fan had made this for me.
Oh,
So
wow.
cute, because that's how I did my makeup exactly.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I have Honky Tonk Man and Shelly de la Muerte. They hang out all the time.
Sounds like a party there.
It is. It is. And the thing is like every time I saw Honky Tonk after that oops-a-doodle, we always have inside jokes about what we talked about. And we would just kind of go up to each other at these conventions where it's like, you've been to them, Brandon. It's like,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, you feel like the walls are sucking your soul every second you're standing there because you're just there all day. You need to go outside or something. And so we just go up to each other's table and be like, hey, da 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 da, and laugh really hard. So I don't know. That was my cool little moment that I continued having with Honky Tonk, because I feel like he understood me in a way that I'm very misunderstood in wrestling, even amongst people who are my friends. And so,
There he is.
so there it is. And
Very cool.
if you accidentally have a oopsie, people, if you're a wrestler out there, don't be afraid to have to say you can't go out there and wrestle, because you just never know. It's not cool.
Sure. Sure. Absolutely. And so, okay, so we got Honky Tonk Man, and we had the Shelly doll.
Well, that was that's not official. That was unofficial. Okay,
Okay.
so
All right. I know.
now, one of the things that I feel super fancy about when I was Ariel is because, my time was very limited as Ariel, but it was there. And when I first was on the road, I had just mentioned to the prop people, because I like to hang out with the prop people and the catering people. I don't know, food, clothes, I don't know, props. Those are things I love. So those are the people I hung out with. And when I was talking to the prop guy, the main guy, I was like, it'd be really cool, since like I'm a vampire, if I could do a photo shoot in a coffin. He was like, you would do that? I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And so the next TV taping, they had a coffin for me. And that's like this infamous like photo shoot I did for WWE in this coffin. And so I felt really awesome. That was my, like, when people, now that I think of it, when people say, what was your WrestleMania moment? That kind of was, because it meant so much to me that like I creatively like saw this thing in my head, and they were like, okay. Like I was like, whoa, I guess I have made it. So in the photo shoot, I'm holding a bouquet of what looks like black flowers. But what they did is they got purple flowers and they spray painted them. Well, I jacked that whole bouquet. Here's one of my roses right there. I took it, and it's been with me ever since. I have about, I would say, 6 of them left now. I've given one away to one of my super fans a couple years ago. But yeah, so this is one of the flowers from my Ariel shoot.
Very nice. Very nice. And before you get on to the next one, do want to bring up a couple of pictures that I
Ooh,
had on
yeah.
standby. Briefly, like 30 seconds, just talk about that experience being Ariel.
It was amazing, because at the end of the day, I've been a vampire since the 80s when Lost Boys, I saw that movie, I was bitten. So the fact that I got to play a vampire, and that's what I'm pretty much known for in wrestling, I think is really damn cool. That's like really living the dream, because a lot of wrestlers don't always get to, especially at first, their first introduction into the brand, they don't get to have something that's so dear and so much them. They have to almost find it, or maybe get a better spot on the show, after being there for so while, to finally like do what they want to do. Whereas me, I was just doing it already from the beginning. So, and I'm glad, because, like I said, my time there was short. So at least I got to do what I got to do. I feel so blessed that I was able to do that character.
Definitely. And I mean, it was definitely an extension of yourself, because I mean, even for the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast, you wore a Dracula shirt.
Oh yeah. You can get this off of the MeTV website. They have lots of awesome programs on MeTV. Shout out Svengoolie.
So that's awesome. All right. So, and I think we have a third item.
Yes, we have a third item, and it kind of goes with why I only have one rose that I'm showing right now.
Okay.
So when I did my last WrestleCon, I'm pretty sure it was my last WrestleCon. Yeah. So it was my last WrestleCon, and again, I was in a really bad place. This was after I knew already that I was done with wrestling. I overprocessed my hair trying to be blonde, so I had to cut my hair like really short. And so that made me feel like not me. And then I gained like 20 pounds. It was really rough. And then here comes good old WrestleCon, where people don't like remember me looking like that. So it was really rough for me. The good news is a lot of that was just in my head. All of my fans thought I looked amazing. And when I look at photos now from then, I'm like, okay, it sucks that I had to have that short hair. And yeah, it sucks that I gained that weight, but I don't look the way I thought I did that day. But at that day, I just felt like crap. So I didn't want to be around anybody. And Ashley Massaro was one of the people that was brought in by the same people that brought me in. And her and I, we have a very awesome, special relationship and connection. And oddly, it really developed after I was gone from WWE. Because when we were at WWE, we were cool, don't get me wrong, but we weren't super tight. And we kind of built that after I had left, you know? So her and I just like, the 2 days we were there, we just went to get sushi afterwards. We did our own thing, and it was just really awesome. And on the last day that we were there at the signing, one of my longtime fans from like way back in the day when I had ShellyMartinez.com, his nickname amongst the female wrestlers is Champagne Ken. And of course, he brings me champagne. I haven't seen him too many times in person, but he's brought me champagne. So he brought me this champagne. And what Ashley and I did is after the long day of the convention, we took that champagne, we went to my room, we drank it, we laughed, we cried, and it was amazing. And so because of that, because it was Champagne Ken, and because of that, what the moments I had with Ashley, I saved the bottle. And I'm so glad that I did. And so that's why I keep just one black rose in here for Ashley.
Wow.
Sorry.
Okay.
But and I'm so glad that I was like, because to take this on the plane, like I had to make sure it wouldn't break. But I was like so obsessed with like, I want to keep this bottle, you know? And then before Ashley passed away, there would be random times that I would take a picture of it and I would tweet it and I would tag Champagne Ken and be like, I still have the bottle. And so, you know, when she passed away, I was just like, dude, I'm so glad that I kept that, you know?
Sure. Absolutely. And thank you for sharing those, Shelly, and especially the last one. I know, and we can all tell, you know, how much it means to you. You know, so thank you for sharing that with us. Seeing that is really important because, you know, we see our stars on the screen, and it's kind of, you know, that kind of flatness, right? You know, that divider, but to actually, you know, and that's why I talk about all this, is because I know there's these things that combine us together, these little things in the universe that combine us all together, and so it's wonderful to see, you know, someone share something as special as this. So thank you very much,
Well,
Shelly.
think about it too. Think about if like Champagne Ken was like feeling, oh, I don't want to be a mark and I don't want to give this to her. Like I wouldn't have this like awesome thing that like ended up meaning more than the reason why I wanted to bring it home. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just think it's cool. People, if you want to be a mark, be a mark. Just be respectful. Like that's the only thing. Like just don't be a disrespectful mark, but be a mark. Have fun, embrace it. If there's any wrestlers watching this, like try not to take it so serious. Like take only what you're supposed to take serious. Everything else, just have fun, dude. Like seriously, it's like something that I just was in a conversation about is wrestling is so special. And the reason why is like, okay, I can be in a crowd full of like a bunch of like Hollywood actresses and da da da. The moment someone finds out I'm a wrestler, they're like, wait, what? And like everything stops. And they're like thinking it's so like, that is so cool, or they can't wrap their head around it. And I think wrestlers get so stuck in that world that they forget how awesome and blessed they are that they get to do what they love, and they're doing something that, like, people always say, oh, there's only so many spots in WWE and da da da, and it's like, yeah, so what? But is wrestling as a whole, there's like a tiny amount of people in this entire universe who ever experience not only that life, but connecting with that audience and the fans like that. So it's okay to be a mark. It's okay.
All right. So, Shelly, speaking of fun,
Yes.
I like to have fun with my guests. I'm a huge Jimmy Fallon mark, and I love the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. And, so it inspired me when I did my podcast. Again, I really didn't want to do a linear who trained you, where
Right.
did you first wrestle, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I want to do it kind of like how he does it. And so one of the games he plays is called 5 Second Summaries. And so for those that haven't seen it, we are going to, this is going to be wrestling themed. They have to either be a movie that has a wrestler in it or a wrestling movie. Okay. And so what Shelly and I are going to do, we're going to write down a couple of movie titles. And so say like, it's my turn. I'll ask Shelly to turn away. I'll show y'all, the audience, the name of the movie. And then I have 5 seconds. So usually the summary is only like a sentence. And the other person has to guess it. And so you cannot say the title of the movie and you cannot say the actor's name. But
Okay.
you can give a synopsis. You can do, maybe a famous quote or line from it, or something along those lines, to try to get me to that movie. All right. So, Shelly, are you ready?
I'm trying to think. Does it have to be like mainstream movie, or can I stump you with something like maybe you don't know about that one?
You know what? Try to stump me. That's okay.
All right.
That's
All
okay.
right.
And maybe there's a story behind it too. So, but I'll be honest with you, Shelly. Most of mine are mainstream. So
Okay.
that's going to be. I think it's going to be easy for you. All right. So
how many do we do?
let's just do like 2 or 3 and see how it's going.
Okay. I'll do.
Yeah.
I got 2 right here. I'll just go with those 2.
Okay. All right. So Shelly, I'll go first. So I'm going to ask you to turn away,
Okay.
and then I'm going to show the audience what it is.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and turn away, and then I don't know if there we go. I think my camera kind of freaked out there. Can you hear me, Shelly?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I think my camera freaked out. But go ahead and turn around.
Uh-oh. Hello?
Can you hear me, Shelly? Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. I don't see you, though.
I know something happened to my camera, but it's okay.
It's
figure it out.
Skynet. That's why.
Yeah. So it might just be all you. But anyway, okay. So I got 5 seconds.
Okay.
Anybody want a peanut? Hello, lady. And
Oh.
from 1980s, the classic Princess Bride.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How can I miss that? I love that movie.
Yeah.
How can I miss that? I think I was stuck on laughing at you.
Well, yeah, I'm used to that. So, all right. So, Shelly, I'm going to turn away, even though I don't know what's going on with my camera. My camera freaked out, but I'm going to turn away.
Hello? Can you hear me? Am I supposed to do it now? Because you cut out.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Go
All right, turn around. Turn around.
All right.
How do I know you're not cheating if I can't see you? By the way? That's not very fair.
I swear I'm not cheating.
Okay.
All right. Turn back around?
No.
No, not yet. Okay.
Okay, now you can turn back around.
All right. All right. So I got 5 seconds.
Okay, hold on. Don't start the 5 seconds yet.
Okay.
Okay, I just got to think. I got to think about, because here, without saying the names. Okay. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, go. This movie has a lot of wrestlers in it. It's
Yard.
What?
The Longest Yard.
No.
Okay.
It It's kind of pokes fun at wrestling. It shows you behind the scenes what really goes on. It's funny because it's true.
The Wrestlers versus Zombies.
No, but how do I not know about the wrestlers versus zombies? Let's
I think
see.
my 5 seconds are up.
Okay.
All right.
Ready to Rumble.
Oh, yes. Ready to Rumble. That's a good one. That is a really good one.
I haven't watched that, and I wonder if it holds up. So how am I? How are they supposed to know what you're holding up now?
Now everybody's going to have to guess what I. I have no idea what happened to my webcam. It just like.
I think you're cheating.
My looks cannot keep up to yours, so it just gave up.
Yeah, right. You're cheating over there. Anyways.
So, yes.
Okay.
All right. So this one's everybody now.
Okay.
All right. So 5 seconds. Let me see. Okay. Regular guy becomes a sheriff and takes on a casino.
Oh my gosh. A ghost.
No. It was The Rock's Walking Tall.
Oh, I didn't see that one. And the reason why I say a ghost is because I don't know if anyone watching is a fan of the show Friends, but Joey Tribbiani is on a show that's like Pyramid. That's one, the Pyramid one. And then he doesn't know the answers, and he just keeps saying like a ghost. So that's what. Okay, so don't be cheating. And
I'm not cheating.
I came up with another one, so I have 3. So
Okay.
turn around. Turn
All right,
around. I'll tell you. Okay.
I'm turning around.
Okay, you can turn back around.
All right.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
In this movie, Mama thinks everything is the devil.
That's the foosball movie. Adam Sandler, Waterboy.
There you go. Ding, ding, ding. It has Captain Insano in it, which we all know is Big Show.
Yes. And he had some of the funniest lines in that little movie, too. He was like, I guarantee this guy's still a virgin.
He was. But Vicky Valancourt let him touch her boobie, so it's all good.
All right. I have another one.
Okay.
All right. So everybody's going to have to guess this one. And people are guessing. I do see
some good.
guessing in there, so that's awesome. All right. This movie is about the convicts versus the guards in a football game.
I have no idea. A ghost.
That's your go-to. It was The Longest Yard. The remake.
I've never seen that one either.
Yeah, but that one has a ton of wrestlers. It has like Stone Cold, Great Khali, Goldberg, all that.
Wow. Okay.
Larry Ramirez says, I said that already, but that wasn't officially part of the game yet, Larry Ramirez.
And I still didn't get it.
Yeah.
You would think I would have got it then, but I've never seen that one, so I don't know. I don't know. Never mind. Okay, so I have one more left.
Yes.
All right, turn around. Don't be cheating.
I'm not cheating.
All right, turn around.
All right. I'm turned around.
No, yeah, you're turned around.
Yes.
Okay, now you can turn back around.
Turn back around. All right.
All right.
I'm ready.
All right. In this film, they use a lot of Southern California wrestlers in it.
Oh my gosh. A lot of Southern California wrestlers on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
In this film, they made it look very hardcore.
Oh my gosh. I honestly don't know. What is it?
It's a film called Backyard Dogs. It's an independent film.
Okay.
And that's why I didn't want to say backyard. I was going to say backyard wrestling, but then that has the word in the title. But here's a little fun fact. Yours truly was booked on there to be a girlfriend of one of the wrestlers. And when I was there, that's when I asked, how do I become a wrestler? And they go, oh, you go to wrestling school and then you have matches and you put a tape together. So because of Backyard Dogs, that's what pointed me in the right direction of independent wrestling.
So is it Backyard Dogs or Dolls?
Dogs.
Okay.
Dogs.
Right.
Backyard Dogs. Look it up.
All right.
You see young Shelly in there.
All right. All right. Hold on a second. Trying to fix my camera. Can you still hear me?
I could hear you.
Okay.
But now I could see, like, when you talk, it pulses. It does like a pulse. Before it was nothing.
Wow,
Before,
that's pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Let me see if I can.
Here's the worst part, though, is when it was pulsating, I was looking at it like if you were there. There you are. I was looking at it like if you were there, but I kept talking to just the circle. Why
All
do you
right.
keep staring?
All right. So I'm glad it worked. All right. So I have one more left.
Okay.
All right. So where did I write it? There we go. All right. So go ahead and turn away. And then I'm not going to go too crazy because I did this last time and I don't know if y'all could see it. Okay. Turn back around. All right. So this movie, a guy puts on a pair of sunglasses and he can see subliminal messages in the advertising that were created by aliens.
Gosh, I don't know.
From the 80s.
I suck at this, dude.
Okay, this one I'll break the rule of naming the actor. I'll name the actor on this one.
Okay.
Roddy Piper.
This is a movie that everyone in the world thinks I know and I've seen just because he's in it. I don't know what the name of that is. What is it again?
Well, Abel says Bill and Ted. It is not Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Abel. No. It is They Live.
They live. They
yes.
live. You know how many times people bring that up to me because they assume because of, I guess, however the movie is, it's totally up my alley. I don't know if it is, but enough people in my life have been like, I can't believe you don't know that movie. And they always bring up Roddy, you know, the one Roddy Piper's in. Yes. I haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
Yes. And everybody knows the line, you know, came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum and I'm all out of bubblegum. So that's
I like that line.
Yeah, it's the famous line from the movie.
This is the first time I've heard it.
So now, Shelly, you got some homework. You're going to have to watch They Live. You have to watch The Longest Yard. You know, so you got some stuff on your watch list now.
I'll do They Live.
Not a Longest Yard fan?
I just don't have no interest. But I've always had interest in seeing this Roddy Piper movie, as everyone puts it. This Roddy Piper movie because so many people just assume, like I said, that I would like it and that I'm familiar. Mm-hmm. So I have to see why everyone thinks that, you know? Sure. But The Longest Yard, I have no interest.
Oh, sorry. And the Walking Tall.
Walking Tall. Rock. I have no interest. I'm not the biggest rock fan.
Okay. All right. That's fair. So, okay. Well, Shelly, that's all the time I have.
All right. Well, I would love to come back with some throwbacks. So if you ever want to do a throwback episode, let me know. And I'll dig up some of my old stuff.
I would be remiss if I didn't bring up LAX, you know, obviously a big part of RCW throughout the years. And you know, you spent some, you know, quality time as LAX. You know, anything from that experience, you know, would be cool too.
I almost shared today something from that, but then I couldn't find it. So I was like, you know what? Because I was gonna tell you I had 4 items actually. But so yeah, I just couldn't find it right away. I hate that damn picture. Is that the one?
No,
it's not. Okay, good. It's not. I had to go closer. Okay, good. That one's good. That one's good.
I think you might be talking about this one.
No, it was another one where there's like my piece of hair is like the way I styled my hair. I kind of like flipped it out, and then there was a shadow casting on my face, and I hate it. And you used it on a promo.
Yeah, I did, and you came down and you yelled at me.
I sure did, because it's a terrible photo. But you know what? My boobs look really big in it, so that's the only reason why people are using it, because it's always guys that use that photo. But whatever.
All right. Shelly Martinez, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. And anything you want to promote or plug for the fans watching?
Absolutely. So if you just go to shellymartinez.net, everything is there. You know, throughout the years, I have different platforms. I do different things. And there's just so many links, and I don't want to overwhelm people. So everything that you need to find is linked on shellymartinez.net. But just throwing it out there, if you're into OnlyFans, I have one too. You can find me, Shelly Martinez.
All right. I mean, yeah, Shelly Martinez is like the hardest working woman in Southern California. Yeah,
I try.
You got links going everywhere. So
I know.
Yes.
ShellyMartinez.net.
Yeah. All right, Shelly, again, thank you so much. And we'll hope to see you again really soon.
All right, everyone have a happy Sunday fun day.
All right, there you go. Shelly Martinez, again, thank her so much for joining us on the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast. So I want to thank everybody for joining in today. Sorry I had some camera issues. I don't know, maybe have to get a new webcam. But I did want to announce that 2 weeks from today, we will have another special guest. And she is definitely known to RCW fans as well. She is a former RCW Women's Champion, and she is sweet. She is lovely. She is rebel, and she will be on the show 2 weeks from today, Sunday, October the 11th. My God, we're already in October, and she will be our guest at that time. So, again, I want to thank everybody for watching, and hope to see you again in 2 weeks for another edition of the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast. And until then, we will see you. And hello, everybody. It's time for another edition of the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast. And if you're watching, say hello. Eventually, I do want to film a really cool intro for the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast on 1980 style, where it's like, hey, we're going to be talking about all the collectibles and all the memories and all the stuff that makes us professional wrestling fans. This is such good shit. Look at that little pipsqueak. Look at that from the WWE fan club. Ultimate Warrior wristbands. It was like, you like wrestling? I was like, hell yeah, I do. It was Lumberjack Jim, my made-up wrestler. Think Hacksaw Jim Duggan, just Lumberjack.
Did you use a backbreaker in a fight at Grand Oaks?
He runs a promotion during his lunch break. Dude, that what cracks me up. The Remarkable Wrestling Podcast. What the world is watching.